This week, another EV. It's Nissan's Leaf Plus. When this was first launched a couple of years ago, the Nissan Leaf was one of the very few electric cars in the market. But now buyers have a lot of choice. This is the Leaf Plus, and the Leaf Plus gives you 50% extra battery capacity. It's got 62 kilowatt hours as opposed to 40 in the normal Leaf. The motor is 160 kilowatts and 340 Newton meters. And it can charge twice as fast too. It can charge at 100 kilowatts versus 50 for the base model.
Our fleet is a clean car fleet.
Our project REVS, which stands for Realising Electric Vehicle to Grid Services, is internationally significant because of the close collaboration between the auto industry and the transport industry.
The REVS project is an ARENA-funded project that brings together Actu-AGL, Evo Energy, the ACT government, JetCharge, SG Fleet, Nissan, who provide the vehicles, and the ANU to evaluate and demonstrate the value that electric vehicles can provide beyond transport.
In REVS, we're using the energy stored in the batteries of 51 Nissan Leafs here in the ACT to support the security and stability of the electricity grid. And when there's an unexpected mismatch, such as when a storm knocks out a power station, the vehicles jump in and provide power from their batteries into the grid in a matter of seconds to help restore that balance.
So effectively the car becomes an energy asset, not dissimilar to a battery on the wall of the house.
So this small charger allows us to both charge our electric vehicle and also discharge power out of the vehicle into the home or the grid, or in our case, into the lab. And what this switchboard represents is a switchboard in an average Australian home. So in this switchboard, we can have connected solar that's coming in from the roof, and that solar power can then go out and power the electric vehicle charger. And with vehicle to grid, that electric vehicle can then also discharge power back into the switchboard to be used in the home.
As Nissan, we've been really early adopters of not only electric vehicles with the first mass market, mass produced electric vehicle in the Leaf, but also that's transitioned through into being really early innovators in the vehicle to grid technology. So we've been active in lots of markets around the world with different trial programs across Japan, across Europe, and really integrating vehicles more into the grid and into the energy system.
But it also will help on those days where there's big spikes in electricity demand. We can use all of these batteries to offset that.
This, coupled with the value from the energy market, we're able to pass through and create incentives back to the electric vehicle owners.
All of a sudden, your electric vehicle is not only helping you reduce your emissions from transport, reducing your petrol costs, but also helps you maximise the renewable energy you're generating and support the wider grid as well.
For households, V2G is transformational because now you'll have 2 to 3 days worth of electricity parked in your garage.
I just can't get past these wheels. They're without a doubt the ugliest wheel I've ever seen on a car. Still 17 inches though. Oh, 777 off to New Zealand. It has this rather smart two-tone roof, and just under here there's a pair of buttons, one to open the hatch and one to lock it. This also has upgraded Bose speakers, but as you can see, the amplifier or the gubbins for it takes up quite a lot of room in the boot. The seats do still fold down, and there are still 3 top tether points. Plus, there are a couple of different charging cable options. Inside there is a massive centre hump, so it really makes this a 4-seater. There's not a whole lot of room, my knees are touching the seat in front. And there's just enough room to get my feet under. There is a button here on the back of the front seat for heating, and the upholstery is leather appointed, which means some of it comes from Macau and some of it comes from a factory. But at least the doors have privacy glass. There are 1 or 2 annoying little things about the interior. The 7-inch screen, I think, is a little bit mean. The whole thing could be digital. And the Apple CarPlay is wide. I'm not complaining, at least we've got it. Also, the air conditioning is just a single zone of climate control. And there is a little place here to put your phone. But as you see, the kind of cord sticks up, so it's really not much use to. You've got to put it in where the wireless charger would normally be. And there are a couple of tricks to getting this thing going too. I've already got this switched on, but it does require releasing the foot brake, which irritates me. And then you have to do this as a bit Toyota Prius style. Over and down to get into drive. Over and down to get in to increase the regenerative braking. And a switch here for E-pedal, which is the one pedal driving. I did take this for a drive up my normal road yesterday, and I've got to tell you, it's quite good. Handling it's okay for a little car with a big heavy battery. This weighs about 1,700 kilos and some change, which is quite a lot for a very small car. But it does feel quite grippy in the tight corners. Mind you, I am only going 46 kilometers an hour, so it's well under the speed limit. This is where this is going to show its mettle. Now, first of all, I'm going to bring in, okay, this does have built-in navigation. There's no real advantage to using it. Whoa, you can notice with 160 kilowatts and 340 newton meters that there's quite a bit of torque steer, which is really quite surprising. The ride is brilliant, despite the fact that this has got a torsion beam rear end. It's very smooth over these bumps, though I did notice meeting a bump in the middle of a corner yesterday made this feel just a little choppy. There are a few things that are missing. Although this does have blind spot monitoring, which I've mentioned in the very quick story, and I'll include a brochure and specifications as well, the blind spot monitor and all of the other driver assistance and technical aids, safety aids and so forth, are all passive. Now, the lane departure just then vibrated the steering wheel, and apparently it will brake if I do anything stupid, like, I don't know, not pay attention to where I'm going. But it's nowhere near as effective as the active steering that really you've come to expect. And this car's got electric steering, so there's absolutely no reason why it couldn't have it. So I asked Nissan yesterday why that was the case, and they said technology is rolling out across the fleet, and Nissan has one of the newest fleets in the country, and ProPilot, sadly, is not available in the Leaf or the Leaf Plus, even at $64,000, which is a little bit grim. And since this was launched in, as I say, 21, there have been a lot of other entries into the lower end of the EV market. Oh, now, it saw someone just then that it thought was in my way. It wasn't. The person had turned off, and there was a bike coming from the side street. Maybe it thought I was going to hit it. I've got no idea. But in any event, it applied the brakes, which proves that the AEB does work. But like most new cars, the technology, the inbuilt technology is only there as a standby. It's not meant to replace good driving. Range on this is about 385 kilometers. There are times when it's better to turn off the regenerative braking and all of that other stuff and just coast, because you can go down hills and coast further. Finally, we come to the cabin, the appearance of the cabin itself. Now remember, this generation of Leaf has been with us for a little while, and so the design has been around for a little while. But there is definitely a feeling of quality about the interior. So to round up, the base model is, I think, about between 10 and 15,000 cheaper. Is this top model worth more? Yes, it is. Charges faster, has a bigger battery, longer range. It's just better. That's all this week from Nissan's Leaf Plus. I quite like it, but it is missing a few things that I think should be in a car of this price. Nonetheless, hit like, leave a comment, and just over there to subscribe.